Hello there, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to be sharing what I coloured in July and August, and I'm actually quite pleased with myself that this August month I've managed to colour quite a bit. So between the 2 months I think it's 30 images, which for me is a good amount. I don't colour quickly and I don't have well, I don't know. I seem to spend my time doing all kinds of things and get nothing much done, but I don't seem to have enough time to do colouring. So I thought I'd share my pictures with you this month. Before I start, I didn't finish many things this month, but one of them was this Giotto Turbo Giant. It's a water-based marker that I sometimes use underneath things. Then I finished this blue gel pen. I finished this green Sharpie. I finished this reddy brown jelly roll. It's not really finished, but I'm just getting nothing out of it. It won't work at all anymore. I finished this beautiful pen. Luckily, these are readily available in South Africa. So this is one of the dual metallics. And I've finished this bright orange jelly roll as well. So with finishing things, I was trying to finish a kind of a hot pink jelly roll, and I did so many pieces in this mandala book trying to finish that jelly roll, but didn't. This first one, let me do that. Let me read what I've said. This first one was in this book. I brought it out when my grandchildren were here, and so there was a hot mess on a lot of things, and I tried to fix the page that was done by the grandchildren, so hence the slightly weird choice of colors and all of that. I started with the hot pink there. That wasn't a great idea, but then it's, you know, when a gel pen is kind of reaching the end. Now I think it was this one that I did. So this, I was also using that hot pink, and then I also used the orange here. Finished that. On these cute little stickers, I got them in an old sticky club. Not stickers, sticky notes, although they don't stick, so they're like little note paper. And our sticky club doesn't send to South Africa anymore, which is quite sad. I think this one was done in a previous month. Let me go to the next one done for this month. Was this one. So I was again trying to use up gel pens, and I did both from the pen and from when I put, so the whole thing is done with gel pen, but I did that technique that I've shown you where I scribble onto Scotch magic tape and paint, or I mix the paint with glycerine. So this color, for instance, is this pen, but just mixed with glycerine and painted. And I got some very pretty pastel colors from doing it like that. I think this one I did a previous month. So then the next one was, I must admit, I can't remember now which one it was. I think it was this one. Oh dear. I used watercolor metallic paint, and I used my jelly rolls and gel pens with marker. And I'm not sure if that was done a previous month or if it was this one, which is also, I mixed the glitter gel pen with glycerine, so it's not as shiny. I mixed that with glycerine and painted, and then I used water-based markers on those, and then some of the Sparkle Pop type gel pens there. And then this one, which I really enjoyed doing, were already painted with gel pen and glycerine, painted there with gel pen and glycerine. So the whole page is done with gel pen, but it looks kind of like watercolor. I mean, I actually love how that turned out. I don't know what you think. I'd love to know if you like that, but I think that's so nice. It was so strange though, because the paper feels kind of funny, and it's a little bit like corrugated, and it took forever to dry. And then this one, very bright, trying to use the end. It's now so little that I'm too scared to actually do with the gel pen itself. So that's this gel pen, again, mixed with glycerine. And this is a normal sparkle pop. No, it's not. This is this same gel pen. And then I went over it with that folk art hologram glitter paint. So those are all of those in this book, and the book is getting nearly finished. There are a couple other that have been done here through the time, and I'm going to do a few more in it because I just love coloring these little mandalas. I think they're so cute. Okay, so that's that. Then I've got my PDFs. You watched me doing this one from Tabby Barnett. I did the Colour and Chat, and I read to you from the Agatha Christie novel. And I got, like, one person very kindly said, thank you for the video, but I got 0 comments about the reading. So I thank you for not being nasty, and I take that 0 commentary as meaning you don't like that idea, and so I won't do that in another video. As you can see, there's some glitter on there. So the name of the book is Broken Circles Colouring Book, and I used all kinds of things. Glitter gel pens, I hope the shine is showing, and alcohol markers, and Ohuhu brush pens, and yeah, various things. Then this is from Luna by Maria Troller, and I printed it onto paper because I wanted to take it with to my daughter's house, and I didn't have enough room to take the whole book with in my bag. So it's coloured with pencils, and I think it's all colour pencil. And then I used water-based markers, koi markers on the tree, and I used like a Gamsol type of thing to blend. I think I used water-based markers here too. I didn't actually write down what I'd done. This one, luckily, I've written down what I did. This is from Mermaid Magic by Selena Fennick, a new colouring book. And I'm quite pleased with how this came out. I like it much. I used the hologram glitter on my sun. I think you can see the shine, and on the wings. And then I used a glitter gel pen around there, the hologram glitter on her tail as well, to try and give it that slight wet feeling. I used Caran d'Ache Luminance pencils. I used a white Posca. I used some Prismacolor. I used that folk art hologram glitter paint. I used Ohuhu markers and a Pentel glitter silver. So I think I threw everything bar the kitchen sink into this, and I'm quite pleased with how it turned out. I think that's my prize colouring for the month. Oh, then I also actually like how this turned out, and I didn't take note of what I used in it. I know I used the glossy accents on her eyes. I don't know if you can see that. And I used some Pentel glitter there. Then I used paint here because I did something that I didn't like. I can't even remember what I did. And I used a pink Posca pen in the background, and then didn't like what it was, and then I went over that with acrylic paint and a paintbrush. But she actually turned out quite nicely, I think. This is from, I think, did I mention? Deborah Miller Mermaid Whimsies. So I'm quite happy with her. Then I showed you in my little haul, I was so thrilled to actually find this book. And then I was worried about how small the little spaces were. And I did this tortoise, excuse my arm, and I used Giotto water-based markers and Sharpies, and not water Sharpies, just normal Sharpies. But it's interesting because I've never colored one like this. And if you color in those Disney books, a lot of you've got those Disney color by number or mystery color things. Are they also like that, where they've got all these little spaces, but actually they're all the same color? I find that a little bit odd. I mean, I wonder why they do it like that. It must be a computer program that sort of pulls it out like that. I mean, to me, this could be one shape and one color number instead of killing your eyes looking at all the numbers. So if anybody has any idea why it's done like that, I'd love to know. But anyway, that was fun to color and much easier than I thought, having originally looked at it. So that was that. So the next up are all my color by numbers. I love this stone mosaic book. This is to me the way color by numbers should be. And I did two in here. This parrot page, which I like how that turned out. And this vase, I suppose, which I think this is a weird color. Maybe I chose the wrong one. It's number 5, so it said orange red, and mine is actually quite orange. I just used my touch markers for that. So that's those two, and I will do more in this book again. I've shown you that picture before. Then in this book, I just did the one. The book is nearly finished. I used touch markers and Ohuhu browns and Sakura glaze pen, and this was for the Garden Color Along hashtag Garden Color Along 2022 at Mary Full Colors. I quite like how the grapes turned out with the glaze pen. So I don't know if you can sort of see that. But that's the only one that I... Oh, no, wait, look, there's another one that I colored there. I did this little one, and that was also for something. I used touch and Ohuhu markers. Oh, I used my new Stickles glitter. Oh, look at the shine. It's so pretty. I love it. I'm so thrilled with that. And I also used glossy accents in the eyes, but I think I closed the book before they were properly dry, so they're not quite as glossy as they might have been. Then I started colouring this for Jamie's Colouring Love August Breakdown Prompts for A is for Apple. Then I began to think, are they apples? Maybe they're not, so I coloured another apple picture as well. But I think, I mean, the colours, what are they? Peaches, busy getting ready. Apples, busy getting ready. Quite funny. I'm not quite sure what fruit they are. The shape of them is a bit like an apricot. So again, could be apricots busy getting ready. I'm not sure. Tell me what you think. I'd love to know. So that's that one from Colour by Colours Country Life. I love this book, and it's nearly all coloured in. There's very little left. I do like this one I showed you just now. I like these colours. I think they're so pretty. I'm so glad we're getting springtime now. It's been a long winter for me somehow. Either I've been cold. I did this one. I like the Volkswagen bus. I used some gel pens, some mixed alcohol markers. I did the sky in the Giotto Turbo Giant, and I was actually quite fascinated that it turned out so well. Wrong colour, but anyway. And then I used a wink of Stella Clear on the water. That's here. Sorry, I'm telling you the wrong picture. So that was the sky with the Giotto Turbo Giant. Yeah, you can see my gel pen, that brown one, was running out here. And the wink of Stella on the water, you can see a little bit of a shine. Can't remember now if I did that last month or if I did that this month as well. I don't remember doing this in June. I think this was one of this month's colorings. I get myself quite confused. And then this next one, which I think turned out quite nicely. I used alcohol markers and jelly rolls, wink of Stella, and I used a bit of Jane Davenport water-based markers in some of the places. So just giving some of my stuff some love. This is a jelly roll busy drying out, but I like the shiny bits. I didn't do as many hashtags this month. I got a little bit confused with things. Then I've done 2 in this book. I did this little one, this little prince with touch markers, some Crayola crayons underneath the touch markers. This is something I want to show you. It stops one getting the lines when you have a large area with an alcohol marker. So one of my subscribers, Peggy, let me know about this, and I'm quite excited by the technique. She talks about a texture when she uses it. I'll bring this closer. I don't really see a texture, maybe slightly with mine, but I'm using different crayons, and then I use just normal glitter gel pens and some Mermaid gel crayons on the background, which I've had somebody asking me what happens when you don't spray them after when you don't spray them with fixative after you've applied them with the brush. I didn't spray this with fixative, and there's nothing on the facing page, so it seems okay actually. I used those extreme glitter gel pens. What are they called? Can't think of the name. Sparkle Pops. So that's that one. And then I did a color along on this one, also from this book. Is called Sweet Chibi. Not many people have this book, so I don't know if it appeals to people or not. It's by Fawn Slater, and it's her first book, I think. I did this one as a color along, a buddy color with Deb from Miss Sweet's Coloring Therapy, and I really enjoyed that. I'll link her channel below. I used Copics and Prismacolor with stickles and glossy accents and a bit of Posca. I did this for hashtag Garden Color Along 2022 at Maryful Colors, and I did it for hashtag Color Your Hoard, which is at Lavella Coloring, because it was the first one in this book. And I did it for Jamie's Colouring Love Sweet Chibi Summer. So I will link all of those hashtags and channels below. And look at the stickles and the stickles and the stickles. I was so excited. The nice shine. And then I tried to become creative there. Hated what that looked like. It was a different background. I went over it with something else. I think with acrylic paint. No, it doesn't feel like acrylic. I don't know, maybe a Posca. Oh, it was a Posca and it kept bleeding, so I used a paintbrush. But it still shone through, so my funny little artistic efforts didn't really work. But I think that's quite a cute picture. If you want to see more of this book, I do have a flip through on the channel, so you can look. So that's those two. And we're getting along then in Enchanted Journey. This is again a hashtag Colour Your Hoard, because it's the first picture I've done in this. I think it's one of my ugliest colouring pages. I was doing it on one of those days where nothing really works very well, and I felt like colouring, and I ummed and ahed about maybe not showing it to you, but I thought, let me show you that we all have days when we don't colour very well. I used gouache paint and watercolour paint, and my colour choices are bad. This didn't turn out nicely, all kinds of things, but I could actually add this to Garden Colour Along 2022, except I didn't want to post it on Instagram. So I'm sorry at Mary Full Colours, but it didn't happen. But at least I've coloured something in that book. Next this is one of the books that I bought, I didn't buy. This is one of the books that I got from the husband of my dear friend Bernie Miller that passed away. And she had started this picture with some blue here. So I wanted to respect her work and finish her page. So this means quite a lot to me. And so I just, I used colour pencil mostly and some soft pastels. She'd done some of these clouds as well. I smoothed them out a bit with Gamsol stuff and completed it. And I added, of course, it's not a Liz page if there's not a bit of glitter. I even put some glitter dots in her eyes. I do like a bit of glitter. I must say, I've just recently been going to see things in theatre because our country has opened up quite a lot lately. And the theatres have been packed. And it's been so stunning to actually go and see live shows. And one of the things I went to see was a primary, I suppose, a lot of countries call it grade school, lower school, I don't know, but the younger grades school production of Peter Pan, the musical. One of my pupils was doing the role of Peter Pan. And it was so adorable with all the little kids. We had pirates and we had fairies and we had Indians and we had everything in their beautiful costumes, and the cutest crocodile that came sliding up the aisle on a skateboard with his big crocodile costume on top. I just thought it was too cute. Anyway, that's an aside. Then I wanted this book so badly many, many years ago when I just started colouring, and was thrilled to get it, and I've hardly done anything in it, and it's a fat book. It's one of those simple colouring books. And so I just decided to colour a page simply and without pressure on myself, and just enjoyed doing it. And I did this with jelly rolls and alcohol markers. And there's a quote. It says, "There was nowhere to go but everywhere. So just keep on rolling under the stars." And that quote is from Jack Kerouac by On the Road, the original scroll. And I enjoyed doing this. Again, I was trying to finish this pink jelly roll. I've got some new jelly rolls and I don't want to use them until I've finished my old ones. So next on the list I have this picture from Country Scenes, a Creative Haven colouring book, and the artist in this is Dot Barlow. I did this picture, which you've all seen already as I was working on the water, and I used gouache for the mountains and for the sky, and then I added a little bit, another Liz moment of glitter on the sky just to show the sun. And this was my failed attempt at it was such a disaster trying to use the oil pastels on the water, and then I went over the oil pastel with acrylic paints, and I used Posca markers to go over these again, the reeds, because the oil markers had made such a mess of everything. I actually wish I'd done the entire page just with gouache, because I think this is also, now that's pencil. So this is a mix of everything, but at the end of the day, the page actually turned out okay. Sorry about jiggling the phone. I saw that the battery was about to die, so I just quickly popped in my charger. So that's that one. And now another one of these Thania McCardle books that I bought years ago and did a very ugly colouring in. I don't really know why I can't colour in these books, but I seem to do ugly colourings. This is just touch markers. And then all along here, I tried that new technique of crayon underneath and alcohol marker on top. That was suggested to me by Peggy. And I'll bring it in close again so you can see sort of, I don't know if it's light enough. Let me try switching on another light here. Better. So I don't know if you can see, it's not, I don't know, it's interesting. I quite like it, so that's that one. Sometimes I find with them that then I wouldn't, for instance, use an expensive marker. I wouldn't use my Ohuhu brush markers on them. And I definitely wouldn't use my Copics because the wax does get picked up a little bit. But my normal touch alcohol markers, which are the most inexpensive markers I've got, alcohol markers, work quite nicely like that. And now one more soft cover book that I did. Another book I love and that I usually end up not really doing the best pictures, but this was finally my apple picture that I did for Jamie's breakdown prompts, not points. So I prepped this page with satin glazing liquid. Then I used Arteza Rail brush pens with water. And then I used Gansai Tumby watercolors and normal brushes that I used for the background. And then I used Colorcraft Brusher crystals on the background as well. And then it looked like a hot mess. So then I added the bokeh effect using a chalk paint and finger daubers. And I used some graphitin to shadow a bit around the picture to make it pop out a bit more. So this was done for Apple, for Jamie's Colouring Love breakdown prompts, for August. And also for you, for Underwater, which was all water-based things. I did that little school picture was for the back to school. And I haven't posted any of it on Instagram, so I'm going to tag her in this video because me and Instagram are not really the best friends. I find all of the social media gets to me eventually. It's like you've got to photograph this and you've got to photograph that, then you've got to post it, then you've got to put all these hashtags, and I start to get so overwhelmed. But I'm actually happy with how my apple turned out. There we are. So that's that. And then I did out of Clara Markova's Fairy Miracles, I did this picture, which I'm very pleased with. This was in my How to Color a Bee and the Wings, that quite a few of you seem to enjoy. I followed a Julie Booth color along, but I did different colors for my bee and wings to what Julie Booth used. And I used Prismacolors on bees and Polychromos and Luminance. And then I used the Folk Art Extreme Glitter hologram. And this also really works for the at Mary Garden Color Along, at Mary Full Colors Garden Color Along. But I'm quite chuffed with how that one turned out. Then from Hannah Carlson's Forest Kingdom, I did 2 pages last month, and I wasn't really following any hashtags or anything at the time. Got an idea there's a Hannah Carlson hashtag going along somewhere, but I did these 2, and I prepared both. No, I prepared this page with the satin glaze, and I used brush pens and water. And this one I just did straight coloring, and then I used acrylic paint in the background. I used metallic watercolor paint on her, on the shiny berries. So that's those 2. And then my last one for the month is in Karovne Ladnosti, which I cannot remember what the English is. And I did this one, and I'm quite thrilled with how that turned out. And once I followed a Julie Booth color along for that, and I used Prismacolors and then soft pastels for the background. And this was also for Jamie's coloring, Jamie's August breakdown prompts, and this is the glass, G for glass. So I hope that you enjoyed seeing all these pictures, and I would like to thank you very much for watching. I'd also like to ask you, if you think about it, to please click that little up arrow, thumbs up, like button, because that really does tell YouTube that you're enjoying the content, and then it allows YouTube to share the content with other people, so that helps my videos get seen. Thank you very much for watching, and I wish you a colorful and happy week. Bye-bye now.